There are some places on this planet that are just so vast, so incredibly powerful that they almost demand a story. They have a way of pulling at our imagination until they get woven into our myths and legends. Today, that's where we're going. We're exploring these remarkable landscapes where the Earth itself becomes a main character in our greatest tales. Let's dive in. And this quote, this is really the heart of our journey today. We're visiting places that just defy any simple description. Places where all you can really do is stand there and be in complete awe. It just perfectly captures that feeling, that exact moment when human language falls short in the face of nature's sheer magnificence. So first up, we're going to look at how humanity has responded to these powerful landscapes. Because sometimes we work in total harmony with nature, and other times, well, we try to defy it. And as you'll see, those two paths lead to very, very different results. Okay, so check this out. This is the Dujiangyan system in China. Now, instead of building some massive dam to try and block a ferocious river, the governor, Li Bing, designed a system that just follows the flow. It gently splits the river's current, which both controls the floods and irrigates the plains. It's just a perfect example of that Taoist philosophy of working with nature, not trying to conquer it. And get this, the staying power of that idea is just astounding. We're talking over 2 millennia later with no complex machinery at all, and the system still works perfectly. It completely transformed a flood-prone region into what they call the land of abundance. That is some incredible foresight. Now, let's look at a completely different approach. Here we have these incredible sanctuaries just clinging to the side of cliffs. The legend says a mortal king who was totally obsessed with living forever built these things to challenge the mandate of heaven itself. He wanted to trap a dragon's power all for his own personal gain. So yeah, this wasn't harmony. This was hubris, plain and simple. And this just lays it all out, the two different outcomes. On one hand, Duzhangyan became the lifeblood of an entire civilization. The hanging sanctuaries, the source material calls them the skeletal remains of his vanity. Oof. One path led to lasting prosperity, and the other became a monument to pure folly. It's a pretty powerful reminder that how we approach the natural world, with harmony or with hubris, ultimately shapes the legacy we leave behind. Okay, so now we're going to leave human ambition behind for a bit and turn to places that were shaped by the raw, totally untamed forces of the planet itself. Landscapes born from volcanic fire and glacial ice. Welcome to Rennesfjara Beach in Iceland. And let me tell you, this is not your typical day at the seaside. We're talking about pure black volcanic sand, these towering geometric basalt columns, and a sea so powerful it's famous for these deadly, unpredictable waves. This is a place that feels absolutely ancient and menacingly beautiful. So how do you explain those massive, jagged rock formations just offshore? Well, legend has the perfect answer. They were trolls, caught by the morning sun while trying to drag a ship to the shore. They were just frozen in time, right there, a permanent warning. It's a story that just perfectly matches the landscape's powerful and unforgiving nature, doesn't it? And then you have a place like Kawawa Ijen in Indonesia. A place so otherworldly, it is genuinely hard to believe it's real. Inside a volcanic crater, there's a lake of pure turquoise acid, and at night, an eerie electric blue fire. The source material calls this God's Forge of Judgment, and the local legend? It says that blue flame is the breath of a judging agent. Wild. From fire, we now turn to water. And in myths from all around the world, water is never just water. It's a portal, it's a source of life, or it's a vessel for our deepest, most powerful emotions. This quote, wow, it just so beautifully captures the essence of Angel Falls, doesn't it? It's not some thundering, roaring cascade, but this elegant, almost delicate thread of water just dropping into a world that feels like it's been lost in time. And the scale is just staggering. At nearly a kilometer high, it is the world's tallest uninterrupted waterfall. The water falls for so long that a huge amount of it actually atomizes into mist. It literally turns to spirit before it ever even gets close to the bottom. So what kind of story does a place like this inspire? A myth of profound, overwhelming loss. The story goes that the falls are the transformed soul of a warrior, whose grief was so immense that it became this endless, eternal cascade. The physical beauty is tied directly to the depth of a mortal's sorrow. And just look at this. It's known as the Eye of the Earth, and this spring in Croatia is just mesmerizing.
From above, it genuinely looks like a giant eye gazing right up from the depths. It feels less like a body of water and more like some kind of portal, a direct connection between our world and the cold, mysterious secrets deep inside the planet.
All right, for our final section, we're heading to a place that really embodies endurance, sacrifice, and our relationship with time itself. It's a place that kind of brings all of our themes together.
So here we are in California's Sequoia National Park, basically a kingdom of giants. These trees are so much more than just plants. They're described as living pillars connecting the earth and the heavens, silent witnesses to literally millennia of history. What's so profound here is the symbolism these trees hold. Their deep roots, they represent an understanding of suffering, while their high branches are always reaching for something divine. Even something as destructive as a forest fire is seen as a necessary purification, a judgment that clears the way for new life. And the scars they carry? They aren't signs of weakness, but marks of incredible endurance. This quote from our source material just perfectly encapsulates the lesson of the sequoias. It's this incredibly powerful idea that resilience doesn't come from avoiding hardship, but from enduring it, from passing right through the fire and coming out stronger on the other side. It's a reminder that true strength is forged in trial. So, from ancient wisdom to raw elemental power, we've seen how these landscapes shape our stories and reflect our deepest philosophies, which, of course, leaves us with this final thought. When we stand before the humbling, timeless grandeur of nature, where do we, as fleeting human beings, truly find our place?
Thanks for watching. Like, comments, and share.